Students, it is my lecture number 11, and in this lecture we are going to study first cutting of DNA at specific locations. You already know this is not a new thing for you people. We have done isolation of the DNA. Whenever DNA is isolated from any source, the next step is to withdraw or to get desired DNA segment or the gene of interest. For that, we have to use a specific restriction enzyme on that isolated DNA so that that DNA gets break up into pieces, and after that we have to do agarose gel electrophoresis. So in this step we have to cut the DNA into small pieces, and again we are going to use restriction endonuclease enzymes, also called molecular scissors. We already know that at present we have more than 900 different type of restriction enzymes, also called restriction endonucleases. And one thing is common in all these enzymes: they cut at a particular site, and that site is specific for our restriction enzyme and is called their recognition site. Suppose we use the enzyme, we use the restriction enzyme EcoR1, and we all know that its restriction site is GAA-TTC 5' to 3', GAA-TTC 5' to 3'. And I have already told you these type of sequences are called palindromic sequences. Okay, see, this is a segment of DNA. This is a molecule of DNA. And on this molecule of DNA, there are 3 sites of EcoR1. 1, 2, 3. EcoR1 attacks in between G and A at both these steps. That is over here also and over here also. What will happen when EcoR1 will attack? Over here, there will be a cut, and over here again there will be a cut. Next, again a cut there and a cut there. Again a cut there and a cut there. We will get this segment because this segment will run from AATTC, and the last there will be G. Similarly, this strand of DNA will have G and CTTAA. This will be the next segment, and there will be the third segment and fourth segment, like this. You can see there are 2 segments, and these segments have sticky ends on their ends. These sticky ends are very much necessary to join the desired DNA segment with a vector with the help of enzyme DNA ligase. So in this paragraph, first of all, we have to cut the DNA into small fragments by using restriction endonuclease enzyme. The next step is agarose gel electrophoresis. We already know. The next step is elution, that is the withdrawal of desired DNA segment after agarose gel electrophoresis. And then the next step is the joining of DNA segment of interest with a vector with the help of DNA ligase enzyme. And after that, what do we do? Transformation. Transformation means the transfer of recombinant molecule of DNA into a host. The next topic is amplification of gene of interest using PCR. PCR means polymerase chain reaction, and it is the one of the most important topic of this chapter. What? PCR, polymerase chain reaction. This technique is used to amplify the gene of interest, to amplify any DNA segment. You already know one term, that is cloning. Do you remember? I told this term in my lecture number 1 when I told you the important definitions. What is cloning? Cloning means to increase the copies of a DNA segment. And over here, we are not using the word cloning. We are using the word amplification. Literally speaking, cloning and amplification is the same thing. In cloning, what do we do? With the help of a plasmid, or with the help of any other vector, first we make a recombinant DNA. Then we increase the copy of that desirable gene which we have placed in the vector. And over here we are using some more sophisticated machinery. We are using a machine in which we are doing polymerase chain reaction so that we can increase the number of the copies of a DNA segment of interest. All this happens in a machine and it takes place in 3 steps. Step number 1, denaturation. Step number 2, annealing. Step number 3, extension. What are all these steps? Let's see one by one. This is the DNA segment of interest, and these are its 2 strands. The first step is denaturation, and here is the denaturation. Denaturation requires high temperature in 70s, more than 70 degrees Celsius. And what happens at high temperature? Both the strands of DNA get separated from each other. This is one strand and it is the other. And the step is called denaturation. After denaturation, the next step is annealing. During annealing, let us first complete its ends, 5' end, 3' end, 3' end, 5' end. As we already know, the direction of DNA synthesis is 5' to 3'. We have to add small oligonucleotides segments which are called primers so that they get attached at the 3' end of the strands like this. This is one primer and it is second primer. One primer is attaching itself at the 3' end of this strand and the other primer is attaching itself at the 3' end of the another strand. The step is called annealing. Annealing is very important step. So, if we want to amplify a particular DNA segment through PCR, we should know what are the nucleotide sequences present at 3' end of both these strands. Suppose here the sequences are T, A, G, C, A. The primer should have A, T, C, G, A, T, G, T, so that it can attach at the 3' end. This is the very important step. Now, one question may arise in your mind. What should be the number of primers in the machine? The number of primers in the machine should be equal to the number of DNA copies you are going to form. Okay? Because annealing step is very important. If annealing will not take place, there will be no third step, which we call extension. The third and the last step is extension. For the purpose of extension, we require a DNA polymerase enzyme. DNA polymerase enzyme is the enzyme which is responsible of the polymerization of deoxyribonucleotides. If it is not present, there can't be synthesis of new DNA. But we can't use DNA polymerase from any source. For example, we can't use DNA polymerase of human beings because our DNA polymerase works properly at 37 degrees Celsius temperature. But for the purpose of denaturation, as I have already told you, we have to increase the temperature of machine up to 70 degrees Celsius, more than 70 degrees Celsius. So our DNA polymerase can't work in the machine so far the extension is concerned. The DNA polymerase which we use for third step is Taq polymerase. Taq polymerase is a special polymerase enzyme which had been derived from a bacteria, Thermus aquaticus. Thermus aquaticus bacteria resides in very high temperature. It is present in thermal springs, hot thermal springs. So it has natural ability to tolerate high temperatures. It is a type of physiological adaptation. Okay. Now the last step is extension. And along with the DNA polymerase, that is the Taq polymerase, we also need deoxynucleotides. You remember? When we have to do DNA synthesis, we need deoxynucleotides, triphosphates. Over here also we need deoxynucleotides, but they should be triphosphates. Plus deoxynucleotides. We have to put all four types of deoxynucleotides. That is adenosine triphosphate, thymidine triphosphate, guanosine triphosphate, and cytidine triphosphate. We all know the raw material for DNA synthesis is monophosphates. But as when DNA synthesis naturally happening, the raw materials are taken as triphosphates, and over here also we have to add them not in the form of monophosphates but in the form of triphosphates. Now the next step is extension. During extension, what is going to happen? During extension, there will be synthesis of new DNA strand over these separated strands. A new DNA strand will form over the previous one, and similarly a new DNA strand will form over the second one. So after one cycle which is of 3 steps: denaturation, annealing, extension, we got 2 DNA molecules, and after 30 cycles we will get more than 1 billion DNA molecules. Actually, the DNA molecules get produced as 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 16, 16 to 32, like this. That is in a geometric ratio. That's why in a very short time we can get a large number of DNA molecules by using this technique. The technique is called PCR, polymerase chain reaction. A number of times when we need sufficient quantity of DNA, as happens in DNA fingerprinting, but if we don't have sufficient amount of DNA, our purpose is solved by PCR, because with the help of PCR we can increase the DNA content manifold. The next topic is insertion of recombinant DNA into the host, and that we have already discussed, because we have discussed the topic competent host for transformation with recombinant DNA. We already know when we form a recombinant DNA, the next step is transformation. Transformation means the insertion of recombinant DNA into the host. That may be a bacteria, that may be a plant cell, or that may be an animal cell. Okay. What would we say in this paragraph? It is written that the recipient cells have to be made competent, and we already know, we have seen this topic earlier, and we have studied plasmid PBr 322. On the basis of that, it is being explained that if plasmid carries a gene for resistance against a particular antibiotics, for example ampicillin, when that plasmid will get entry into the bacteria, plant cell, animal cell, that particular cell which is now have been transformed will also show resistance against that particular antibiotic. And the genes that provide resistance to plasmids and to the transformed cells are called selectable markers, that we have studied already. Okay.